I find this town is quite unique, like not the other parts of United States. United States, when we think of the country, so in our part we imagine like the tall buildings and all those busy roads and busy lives that people around in New York or Washington have. But coming to this place, it was quite bit of different feeling because we couldn't get to see like house that was more than 2 or 3 story tall, and then people were quiet and they were doing their own stuff. That's why it kind of created a feeling like, oh yeah, this place is nice to live and study in. So
it's just about what you want, and just try to find places that are accessible to take the bus if you need to, and pretty much close to a grocery shop.
Other than that, some streets which are parallel to Central are good, but Central is not good. Also, I think that Lomas and the University Boulevard, they have quite good apartment complexes and small houses, and I think they're safe because it's closer to campus and students can usually walk over.
Something that is like walking distance from UNM campus, that would be essential.
I use Craigslist, I use Google, I use people that lives around campus, and I used to talk to them.
There is the Facebook groups, like Isaiah has a Facebook group, Gio has a Facebook group, and a lot of students who are moving out or even like coming in, they are always posting. So because it's true, like most of the time, if not 100% of the time, students share rooms or share a house with other students. So it's better if you share with other students who are maybe in the same things than you.
I recommend it's always better to find a housing solution before you arrive to Albuquerque, because we had to spend almost like 3 weeks in my friend's place.
I did my research and looked through the housing options at UNM from home. I reserved a spot from back home, and I cleared all the payments when I came here.
So I had access to UNM resources such as the Johnson's Field, the swimming pool, the gymnasium. Also, it was really easy for me to just like buy food if I didn't really want to prepare food. But I also had the option to cook my own meals in the dorms.
Pros and cons of living on campus or off campus. I think for people that are here to do maybe an undergrad program, it would be good to stay on campus because you get to know a lot of people, and it's like you're like here where everything is happening. So I think it's really nice. For people like me, I came here to do a master's program. I really didn't want to have like all these rules of like not drinking on campus or not smoking on campus or like not having parties or things like that. So I wanted to have my own life. So it depends on what you want, but I think if it's your first time here, it's good to live on campus, and then maybe seek something off campus too.
So now I live off campus. I live in an apartment complex called Sun Village, which is 2 miles north of the UNM main campus. I think that's a good apartment complex for undergrad student because it's well surrounded, like with walls, and they have an automatic gate and security like 24/7.
I do live off campus. In terms of housing, I decided to not live in the dorm rooms, quite frankly, because I'm a little bit older. I wanted to, and I'm used to living in an apartment. I lived in an apartment for 7 or 8 years before starting school again, so I didn't want to go back to living in a dorm room. The cons would be the 1-hour commute that I have to take, living so far away from campus now that I'm working here and that I'm going to classes almost every day here.
But I didn't know like anything about the landlords, like the papers that they would need, like I needed to give like a deposit in advance, and like how to pay the utilities, like I had to put the gas and electricity under my name, which it was kind of like I was not used to do that in Mexico. And so it was just like kind of tricky to like follow the rules and like get to know how it works.
That is, the lease is something which is new to us, and we had 1-year lease here, and that's a bit of problem because you don't get to adjust with your roommate so easily, and you might have few issues and you wanted to move out, and leaves would be like barrier. But still, yeah. Luckily, I found a good roommate, but still.
They offered me housing off campus, but I think it's too much of a hassle for me for the first time because you have to like talk to the landlords, you have to talk about contracts, you have to worry about utilities. And on campus, what is really good is for me is that if things break down, if you have problems with your roommate or something like that, you can always have somebody to talk to. So for me, I live on campus and I will stay on campus. That's the easiest way for me.